You gotta start the show.
Okay, I have to introduce the whole thing now. This is Grindstone.
Today I want to start with some vocabulary words. This is called Sorry for My Language. Welcome. You're here on my show, Sorry for My Language. But there's an art of language that often gets overlooked. Some things often get overlooked, and that is language itself. And sometimes you hear something over and over and over, but you never really know what the word is being said. Who knows? So let's just start. Let's start because I know you've heard this word and you don't understand the nuances of it. So what I've done today, I always have this, just in case. Let me see, can you see this? Black's Law Dictionary. Irony? I think not. But this is a dictionary that has the final word on language that's agreed upon legally in American English. So the first word I'm going to look up is the F word. Any idea what the F word is? Nope, not that one, not that one. The first word I'm going to look up is the F word because I think it's time that we all get our head out the sand. No, it's not football. I think it's time we get our head out of the sand. And, we start looking at what it is that people are talking about. All this talk swirls. I remember when it was around Valentine's Day 2020. It's early February 2020. Now let me say Valentine's Day. Crazy how Valentine's Day just monopolized the vibes in the beginning of February. But 2020, and I was like, I keep hearing of this coronavirus thing. Maybe I ought to just take this thing seriously. Maybe I ought to check up on it. I keep hearing it, right? And then probably about, a month later, the whole world shut down. The whole world shut down, right? Hold on. Got my steel canister trying to save the world. So the world shut down, but about a month earlier, I was like, maybe I ought to start paying attention. And I'm going to bounce around a little bit, but speaking back to football, I got seduced this weekend. I saw the pretty colors of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings uniform as they played in Ireland, and I watched. Even though I'm for the athletes, I'm for the competition, I even like the idea of sport and game. But the freaking NFL is so racist as an institution, they don't let you forget that. And it's really difficult for me to continue to watch it. Well, it's not even difficult. It's easy for me not to watch it. I stopped watching it years ago. I mean, just due to the concussion protocol alone. I mean, come on. That don't have nothing to do with racism, but it's just capitalism at all costs. You're killing these dudes. They sign up for it. And if they sign up for it, it should be something that's known, but instead of letting it be as known as it is prevalent in the league, just all the injuries, they don't want the mothers to get disinterested in football and pull their young children out of football and diminish the next graduating class. So it's just several moral issues I have with the NFL. There are no black owners. Like, what the hell am I even watching that shit for? And it was just within the last 10 years, they had to take back a report that stood in the NFL that said black players are less likely to get brain injuries because their brain is not capable of the same function as a white player. I promise you, this was in the NFL's written doctrine. And so that's one reason why black players didn't deserve as much money at settlements. This is the NFL that you love. And so there are just several reasons. And I don't want to go on and on about the NFL, but I will say I got seduced by the pretty colors. And seduction is real, which is why you have to have a rock. You have to have something that you cling to, that you know about, and let that rock be the development of your mind. And so when things are swirling around and it doesn't seem like gossip and it seems kind of like something that you ought to know about, at least, you ought to know Hurricane Katrina's coming. You ought to kind of know about preparedness. Sometimes it's just time to develop your mind. So today's word is the F word. That word is fascism. Now, that's a hot button word. Fascist, fascism. Somehow it's unrelated to fascia or fascia. I wonder if it is unrelated. Well, let's check it out. It's crazy I need glasses now. I don't be trying to wear my glasses, but that's a thing too. And I don't even know why I'm resisting. I got fly eyewear. But let me check out fascism. Let me see if this joins in here. It's fascist on my eyes. Fascism, a totalitarian political ideology under which all economic and social aspects of life come under rigid government or control or direction, and the state's interests supersede individual interests. Damn. Let me read that again for fascism, just in case y'all didn't know. A totalitarian political ideology under which all economic and social aspects of life come under rigid government control or direction, and the state's interests supersede individual interest. Now, we're going to have to do another word. That word is totalitarian. This is for all y'all who cut class, baby. I'm not looking up shit else, but the word that we're rocking with is fascism. And if you want to know where we're headed, you have to kind of understand that not only are we headed there, we're kind of parked there. We're in the kiss and ride lane. Like, so say if it was a train, and the little kiss and ride where it's a little section out in front of the train. You're at the train station, but you're just not on the train yet. That's where we are with fascism, where the government control is very rigid and it supersedes individual interest. I've never, ever existed in a time like this, in a space like this. And this ain't to get all political, but damn it, I'm not going to be the distraction all the time. Sometimes we're going to zero in. Because if you think about it, let me tell you how this struck me. So yesterday, I go to this store to pick up like some water and maybe some trail mix, right? I go to the store just being 1,000% normal. And the guy has the television on in the store. And during the television, it's a live press conference between America's president and Israel's prime minister. And the sound was on. And Israel's prime minister is talking. And this is a no funny, but it's for real. He said, he don't talk like that, but he said, we have figured out a peace treaty for Palestine, and if they do not like it, we will finish the job. Now, I'm up in there about to buy an apple, maybe some trail mix, a water, probably a kombucha. I might even go to one of my vices, like the vegan chocolate covered almonds or something. I'm in there off the innocent. And then this dude talking about finish the job. That means unalive a bunch of people. Either you like it or you die. That's not even a choice. So when he's saying that in America's president's White House building, and why is that shit called the White House? But when he's saying that in his room, and it's co-signed by him, like, hey, rock on, my boy. Say what you want to say. it's something where you have to think about how far are we from just being told, get down or lay down. So then here I am minding some whole other business. And I think it was I'm not going to say it wasn't the head of the FBI, but the head of the Department of War. We got that now. He was telling all military officials that pretty much throw out all consideration that you had for people prior to this moment. And now it's wartime. We are running this shit. And he said the word shit, but he didn't say the sentence. We're running this shit the way I say we run this shit. And pretty much anybody who don't like it is get down or lay down. Damn. Now, I know that's mad political, but it's not unrelated to what I'm going to talk about today. If there's pressure, that shit could crush you or that shit could refine you and you could be forged by the fire. And right now, Washington, D.C., a lot of people, they're being affected by the government shutdown, possibly. They're being affected by the emotions around it. We pulling up on the first of the month. They're being affected by all the bills that are due. Everybody's affected by some shit right now. And, you know, you got people faking like they newborn Christians so they could be on the guiltless side of this. And that's no shade to Christians, but that joint has been politicized. So now it's kind of like, I'm so-and-so. I'm this, I'm that. But you're all just wick, wick, whack. Once again, no shade to the people who really have it in their heart to be that and do that. But I see people throwing on colors like it's for a gang or something or for a dance group. That's what I see. And we could just really do better, but because we don't do better, I'm kind of thinking we can't do better. And this is where we are. So if you're going to be crushed by it, that's your business. But if you're going to be forged by the fire, let's start by moving one thing at a time that you are able to get better, that you are able to get sharper, and let that one instrument be the instrument that you have to live in forever. And that's your body. I'm going to talk to you about your body and how to get that motherfucker as right as you can. On this episode 74 of Sorry for My Language. Yeah. Man, what a rant that was, right? Start off telling you about this wonderful experience I had leading off with fascism. But think about it. This isn't the first rodeo America has been on like this, but it's just the first time this happened, it was like the government were the English. And then the citizens were fighting against them. And then we're like, fuck this. We're not paying your tax. And pushed the whole box of tea off in the damn ocean or in the Boston Harbor. But I'm not here for all that. Listen, I'm not here for all that. What I'd like to tell you on this episode of Sorry for My Language, first of all, I'm Grindstone, your host. And this episode is brought to you by my premium fashion line, Grindstone Universal, where it can be found at grindstoneuniversal.com. and you know this, man. So a beautiful thing that is happening in Washington, D.C., and I've talked about this before, but I experienced it this past weekend. Something wonderful is happening. There's a gathering of men who are behaving like supportive, strong men in concert with one another. Is the whole fitness calisthenic wave. Oh my gosh. Man, shout out to the good people who have just, it kind of reminds me of high school. Like in high school, we used to work out together. You know, hey, I'm going to the weight room. Want to go? Yeah. You know, fools would be getting together on the late night. If somebody worked at a gym and go to the gym and get a good workout at night. And that was like real, that was a social time. You know, that shit was cool. Somewhere in between your driver's license, adulthood, freedom out the home, those late nights don't turn into gym nights anymore. But that has gone on long enough. We've lost a lot of good people due to health complications that we really didn't have to lose people to. And now, oh my gosh, I really think it has something to do with all the frills of society being taken away. We have gotten to the fitness wave. Live at the dojo. The good men's. I support the nigga. Already. What's up? How you feeling? Got the good ladies here. And then we got the good mango soursop. Yo. The fitness shit going on here in DC, and shout out really specifically to Davey Ruffin and Mr. Watch Me Work. They decided to start working out at these public places and getting busy at their own behest. And one person at a time, people started joining on. People started seeing that was the right thing. People started seeing that they could break a sweat too. See, for the longest, people didn't want to break character. And it was cool for the dude. This is what it was, at least from what I saw. It was cool for the dude who was getting money, or dude who had the new sneakers, or dude who had the little girls after him. It was cool for that dude to not sweat, right? Fuck that. I'm not going to sweat up my tea. I'm not, you know, it was cool for that dude to have like a little extra plate of food that he just got, just waiting for him to eat. A little cup of something in the cup holder so he could sip on it whenever he felt like drinking, right? That was cool. Well, now that the flab of society, and when I say flab, I mean like the extra money flow, the lack of hustling. Now that has reared its ugly head, people don't have no extra food. People don't have no extra girl hooked on his arm. People don't have no motherfucking extras. So what are people doing now? They getting on that ground and doing some motherfucking push-ups. People are getting strong. People are getting healthy. Hey, and if somebody want to look at them and say something about it, people are fucking around and getting sexy. Something to feel on her booty too. From the heart. If I was young and rich, I'd marry you, but I'm old and I hate so. Who am I to stop the sexy? Nah, hell nah. And for a very long time, I've been also working out. Just keeping a steady pace. Sometimes I overdo it. Sometimes I underdo it. But I understand the value of movement. And now one of the beautiful things about this gathering, and the two people I mentioned, Davey Ruffin and Mr. Watch Me Work, they got together this past weekend and they combined forces. And it was just so dope because now I'm going to get to it, but the shit was intense. But it was dope because this ain't no it ain't nothing outside of friendly competition and support. And at the height of people competing, you think that eventually somebody will get mad at somebody. But you can't get mad at another person in this environment because the energy that you have to exert is between you and the bar that you're doing pull-ups on, or it's between you and the ground that you're doing push-ups or burpees on, or it's between you and that squat that you're trying to do. So no matter what somebody else says, you can't really do nothing except exert your energy on your exercise. Because what you gonna do, fight somebody? Do a push-up contest. It's just a wonderful cheat code to community building. I love it. Shout out to y'all. Now, for all y'all who out there stuck on, I'm too cool, I'm too in position, place, whatever, to break a sweat, to really work out, to really address this shit, more power to you. That's your world. I don't support that lazy ass bullshit you on, but I get it. Everybody has to come to theirs in their time. But hey, Drake, we're in a fascist society. And on broadband TV, the damn head of the newly appointed Department of War was pretty much like, fuck this shit, it's get down or lay down. What? Hey, you better be able to pull up, push off, go without, handle your business in personal space. Gather, hunt. You better be able to just gather your shit because these motherfuckers are doing something outside of the interest of the individuals who elected them. They are doing some shit in the interest of the state, per the definition of fascism in Black's Law Dictionary. I just read a legal dictionary about the word, and they fucking with that, right? They fucking with your personal freedoms, but they don't even feel like hiding no more. So it was just kind of alarming to see how far down the road they are, if that's how boisterous they are and rambunctious they are about it on TV with the mics on. So fuck them. We're not talking about that. What I want to say is, for everybody who's been curious about the dojo and about getting busy, and the dojo is Davey shit, right? So he didn't give me licensing to say shit about it, but I'm just here to give it the fucking props that it deserves. Now, I took 2 ladies with me, both who were very interested in fitness. So for all of you all who say, I'm a woman, I don't know, or I'm small, I don't know, or I'm big, I don't know, whatever, it does not matter. Show up and be prepared to do your best. Now, some of you who may be familiar with just how I feel about certain shit. I'm not a big fan of the Colorado Buffs shit at all. I think that was just a hype train, and it was a plea to get with the fucking NFL that's racist as fuck. And it used a black school as a stepping stool to get all of our attention. I just don't fuck with the whole thing. But like I said, I fuck with the athletes. I fuck with competition. It's just the puppet masters of the whole game I don't really fuck with. So I feel that the University of Colorado, via the NFL network, via all that shit, they got way too much attention on them for doing fucking nothing. I mean, really, they got attention for being able to get attention. Niggas ain't win nothing, but they got attention for being able to get attention. But that's neither here nor there. All that being said, I saw a press conference today where Deion Sanders was talking, and he said he had one simple question. And mind you, Deion Sanders was an absolutely wonderful athlete. And you don't get to that level of somatic intelligence or physical mastery or even durability without introspection. But he said, I have one question that I asked him that you have to ask yourself. Are you an underachiever or are you an overachiever? But let me ask you differently. Are you underachieving or are you overachieving? Ooh, you got to sit with that. Are you underachieving or are you overachieving? Well, if you're American, more than likely your ass is underachieving. And that's okay for whatever softness you need in this moment as I go critical. But every now and then you need positive peer pressure. I need positive peer pressure. Positive peer pressure is something that, when properly used, it builds a community of people who went out on a limb and went out on a limb for each other in a healthy way, in a very constructive way. And I think that the positive peer pressure that's built from these workout circuits is something that is so necessary for everybody to experience in some capacity. So this joint, mind you, we go in there. I had just seen it on internet because it's like an internet craze. So we pull up. Everybody's like, out there, adrenaline's up. I was like, damn, I feel like a damn before a game or something. People kind of jumping around, stretching. This one dude, he was going to his car to get something. He was like, damn, I forgot I left it over there. He had to go back. I was like, hey, don't trip. It's a warm up. Like, you get more steps in. Homie said, nah, I already ran 5 miles. Hold up. You already ran 5 miles and then you about to do this? So the level of fitness of some of the dudes is admirable. Ain't even no joke to be made about it. So anyway, we get there and it was beautiful because one of the dudes, Craig is his name, he was stretching people and his thing is stretching, right? So he pause. Stretching is his area of professionalism. So he was stretching people and or he was leading us through the stretches. And I was like, okay, I like how he commanded the unity with this part, get us stretched, get everybody prepared to go. And then shortly after that, we said, okay, here's the warm up. Here's the warm up. This is when shit got real. 100 push-ups. What? What was that? 100 push-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 push-ups, everybody go. Well, fuck it, adrenaline's up. We drove here for a reason. I ain't gonna waste this tank of gas on nothing. Fuck it, we get busy. We do 100 fucking push-ups. Everybody at their own pace. But first of all, I can't pull off 100 clip just on this song. I can't. I'm not there, right? So what I did 50, 30, 10, and 10. But the problem, the breaks in between, they were real brief. Like if I was at home, I would have taken way more time than I took in between that. And I was just like, damn, it's rare that I do 100 push-ups this fucking fast. I mean, put it this way. In my breaks, I didn't stand up. So it was like 50. I'm dusted. A couple deep breaths, and everybody else is pumping them out. Some of them finished the whole 100 clip, proper form and everything. All right, fuck it. 30, bam, 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 bam. Now I'm thinking, I got to think about the shit I revert to. I'm thinking of like football. My competition is doing push-ups that I'm not doing, so I got to get mine, right? So I start making up bulletin board material for myself. Blah, 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 blah. Mind you, this is the first fucking warm-up, right? All right, fuck it. Then the last set of 10, you could always, my mind be said, you could always do 10 push-ups. Bam, hit 10. Bam, hit 10. All right, fuck it. I'm saying fuck it like I'm just doing them. Fuck it. But anyway, so then everybody gets it. Everybody like reaches for their, some people did the modified push-ups, of course. But then, so people get their respective things to drink and, their refuel right quick. Because now we're taking it from the little playground area over to the grass. And then we all line up. This is still warm-ups. This is still warm-ups. He said 100 burpees. I was like, huh? Excuse me, man, mister. 100 fucking burpees. Oh, shit. So then it would be like this side would do 10. So we lined up in equal lines looking at one another. This side does 10, then that side does 10, then this side does 10, then that side does 10. But the burpee wasn't just your damn average burpee.
Nah, bruh.
Nah. The burpee was a joint that first he called out and he was like, okay. And for those of y'all who've seen Mr. Watch Me Work or whatever, man, this motherfucker do some old crazy ass shit and then be like, that's one. So he didn't go ham bone like he usually does online with the that's one, but he went off, right? That's one. Okay. If I got a clicker on that, that's really three. But okay, that's one. So then this side has to do it, pow, 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 clapping. One. Then that side has to do it. And this side has to do it. So then when we got to 10, then he picked somebody else to pick a burpee variation that would count as one. So everybody who we picked different burpee variations. This side did 10, that side did 10. This side did 10. I mean, my lats are still sore. But shout out to them. My chest still a little sore too, but after like about 36 hours, the soreness is just something you got to work through. You could chill out for the next 24 hours, but like at first. So we do this shit, and I'm like, man, I am dusted, right? So then we go from there over to the bars, the pull-up bars. Now, my arms, I unscrewed my arms like an action figure doll and left them on the grass. So I walk over to the pull-up bars with no arms. And I ain't gonna front. Fortunately for me, because I had no arms, fortunately, there are not enough pull-up bars on the playground for all the people who showed up that day. Right? So then they were going two at a time, and the shit got real fancy. They got cinder blocks hanging from their waist, and it's going up, and the shit is fly as hell, and it's beautiful. It's just this wonderful competition. It's this iron sharpen iron shit. Motherfuckers are going off. Love it. Love it. But it wasn't enough go for everybody. So then it was a separate circle. It was a couple little separate stations. But then there's one homie, Bryce, he was like, okay, I'm gonna get y'all on legs. Bet. Now this ain't no easier way out, but I got to go pick my arms up out the grass, screw them back in, and then we're doing legs. And so we created this big circle, and it's just different variations of air squats and lunges and shit. And for those of you all who do not work legs, the legs are so important for so many reasons outside of just the way you look in shorts. If your glutes are strong, it balances your hips. If your hips are imbalanced, then you could fuck up your hip joints, and next thing you know, you be the hip replacement candidate. If your legs are unworked, that means the soft tissue in your knees are unworked. If the soft tissue in your knees is unworked, that means that you end up with knee problems, and then you become immobile. Right? So it's a trip because the more you know, the more you know. Like at first, when I was first introduced to working out, I was thinking of it as a competitive necessity in sports. Like, here's my competitive advantage. I'll be able to run away from somebody better, jump better, hit somebody better. But no, it just comes to maintaining your own body, like your body function. If your abs and your core aren't strong enough, then that also plays a role in your hips. then that plays a role in your spine. Then you end up with back problems. So you have to work out all this shit all the time if you want the best function out of that one place you're going to live in for the rest of your life, which is your body, right? Damn. Your body. The one place you got to lease on for the rest of your life. So when we're doing these leg exercises, now this leg exercise, it ain't nothing nice. Shit is burning. Shit is hurting. It's good though. It's good work, but it's a lot. But that's when you enter back into the mind state. Are you overachieving or are you underachieving? Which one? And then you just say, fuck it. I put gas money in this vehicle to arrive here for a fucking reason. I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna do my shit. This is nothing. This is a blessing to be here. It's a nice day. So I just learned this, and I mentioned this on another one of the episodes. I said that if you want to change a small thing about something going on in your world, you could start off by standing up with something behind you that's at mid-thigh height or knee height. Bend down, tap your butt on it, stand up. That's one squat. Do 15. Turns out, we got schooled in this session that when you bend down and squat your knees at less of a 90, all right, when you're standing straight up, that's a 100-degree angle. When your legs are bent like that from your waist, that's a 90-degree angle. When they're bent less than that, like so when you take a deep squat, that's less than a 90-degree angle. When you bend at less than a 90-degree angle, you start to kick off nerves and shit that sends dopamine signals to your brain, and it starts to feel good and starts to heal shit. And it starts to crawl up your spine and all types of shit starts to happen when you sit in a deep squat. And he explained it better than I'm explaining it now, but it was some science with that shit that made me want to do the full range of motion on the squat and not just like 10-man that joint. So it was beautiful because the people who were leading the exercises knew what the fuck they were talking about, which is important. You know, I like it when somebody can like bring the gruff out of me, but then also like explain why. I like that shit. And I don't even always need the explanation, but when you have that, then you start doing the range of motion better for that reason. You get better equipped. And I swear out there, it might have been about, it was over 60 people. But I don't know how many people it was, but it was over 60 because I know when we lined up, it was an easy 30-30 on both sides. So the shit was just dope, man. And I think that with all the things that we are facing now communally, we have to really take into account what we're doing to better ourselves out of the things that are controllable to us. And one thing that's very controllable to us is our level of movement and our level of body care. And our entire side effect of that shit is looking good. Now, I would say the average age was, I'm guessing because I asked nobody the age, but the average age, I'm going to say was the early 30s. I was in the uppers of the age in that joint, but then there was some younger joints in there too. So, you know, if I was to be on a game show, I would say the average age was 32. I could be wrong. But it was a wonderful day of working out the whole trend, the whole street working out. And Harlem, you fucking up. I heard that uptown in New York City, the police, the NYPD took out a good 90-some% of the pull-up bars that people have set up. So people get together and they do pull-ups and they commune in them fellowship in them situations where they could like get physically fit. And the police went and did a whole early morning run and dismantled them. Like what? What was that about? I guess it's the push-ups, right? I guess it's going to be burpees then. But I just think that it's lame as hell that the police would do that kind of effort for what? But remember the F word. Remember the F word. So here we are, 2025, a brand new situation, brand new ways to take care of yourself. Man, this is one compound I'm about to take because all the energy that people was having, I was like, okay, I might be 20 years older than you, but the energy you have to do this shit is incredible. What the fuck are you, what did you eat for breakfast? What you doing? Everybody was talking real big about the Shilajit. Shilajit. Himalayan Shilajit. Shilijat. I think that's how you spell it. Shilajit. Anyway, I don't have any yet, but I'm fenced to experiment with that right there. Shilajit. Just finished at the dojo. Look at all the good men at the park. And it's way harder than it looks. Pause. So yeah, I'm feeling real good about completely devoting myself to improving my situation. And I hope that you have some kind of feeling about improving yours. My situation includes everything that I experience, that I'm able to do something about. You know, that's my friend circle. That's how I'm friends with myself. That's my spiritual self. That's my nutritional, physical self. That's my financial self. That's just all the shit that I can affect. That's my family life. All the shit that I can affect without overextending myself to shit that is out of my control. I'm improving that. That's what I'm improving. And I like when we could get together in groups and do it as a community. It is bomb. It's a real big deal. So shout out to everybody who's making that happen in their community. And I want to let y'all in on something. I want to let y'all in on this thing. Y'all are helping me. Listen, this might not sound like too much to you, right? Make sure they don't hear. This might not sound like too much to you. But at the beginning of this year, I had a few digital goals. And damn it, I'm close, baby. I'm getting close with your help. I'm not even going to tell you what they are. But all I'm saying is like, subscribe, and share. And not only on YouTube, on this YouTube channel that you're watching this on, but on TikTok also, I'm getting towards a couple goals that I just set for myself I'm not sure, it might have been the end of last year or the beginning of this year. And I'm so very close to those goals. So I appreciate all y'all who have been just part of this whole shit, man. I appreciate you for playing your role in this. Once again, that is what community looks like. It's when people have certain interests and they get together and they share and they exchange and they don't expect, because if you're not doing some shit, then you opted out of the community, and that's cool. I don't give a fuck, right? Nobody should. But here we are. Y'all have chosen to be here. I fool with you. Go to grindstoneuniversal.com. That's another place where I'm getting busy. I got a couple albums. Man, I'm making music I'm really excited about. And so y'all make this a special place for me. Really. I mean, man, I never would have thought that I would have just been talking to however many of people through a microphone to let you know how I feel. Cussing and everything. Once again, sorry for my language. Debo rap over emo rap. I run these guppy niggas, dude. They comfort food. I snack on Florida Ave and eat a meal in Miami. You're everywhere. Touching souls from kids to grannies. I'm on 580, Georgia Ave, MLK, Route 50, Chesapeake, South Street. I'm up in New York City.